Hey folks, I'm so glad you could join us for the first session of Hope in the Dark. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those nights where you get up to grab a drink of water, but you don't want to turn on the light because, let's face it, you're not quite ready for that kind of commitment, or you're afraid you're going to wake somebody up that'll get mad at you? So what do? You start doing the zombie shuffle with your arms, trying to look around, crashing into furniture like it's your first time walking, and suddenly the house you know so well becomes a full-blown obstacle course for you. I mean, during the day, it's no big deal, but at night, it can become total chaos. Here's the thing. Life can feel like that when we're going through a dark season. All of a sudden, the God we could see so clearly in the light is now nowhere to be found, and you're left stumbling around, feeling lost and disoriented. Have you ever had a dark time like that? Maybe it was a divorce that left you feeling alone and heartbroken, wondering if God was even paying attention. Or maybe tragedy struck. Someone you loved was taken away way too soon, and you found yourself thinking, come on, God, like, where are you? Or maybe you've looked at the news lately and thought, wow, God, do you see this mess we're in? Where are you? But here's the good news I want to give you. If you've ever asked those questions, you're in good company. The Bible is full of people who often ask very similar things, and one of them was a guy named Daniel. Now, Daniel lived about 500 years before Jesus in the city of Jerusalem, and Daniel was living his best life. Handsome, healthy, smart, wealthy, the whole package, until one day his whole world came crashing down. A foreign king, a guy by the name of Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, declared war on Jerusalem and besieged the city. Next thing you know, Daniel was kidnapped, exiled, and everything he knew was gone. His home was gone, his future was gone, even his name was gone. Gone, gone, gone. They actually started naming him a name called Belshazzar. I mean, come on, what kind of name is that? It sounds like, a prescription or something. Take 2 Belshazzars and call me in the morning. One at night, one in the morning. Now, if what happened to Daniel actually happened to me, I'd be feeling pretty lost, confused, and feeling a sense of abandonment by God. And the truth is, Daniel didn't just slap on a smile and say, God is good all the time, God is good. Nope. He got real with God. He asked the tough questions. He wrestled with God, and you can hear it in his prayers. He says, turn your ears our way, God, and listen. He's like, are you even listening to me? Are you? Are you there? He begs God, open your eyes and take a long look at our ruined city. I mean, this place is messed up. This is our city. Look what they've done. You can hear the frustration in his voice. And he prays, Master, look at this and do something. Master, don't put us off. Your city and your people are named after you. You have a stake in us. And he's like, don't you care, God? Do we mean anything to you? Where are you? I mean, if you think about it, Daniel's getting up in God's business. And he's asking the hard questions. He doesn't hold back. And maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe you're asking God some of those same kind of questions. Are you there, God? Do you see me? Do you care? And if that is where you're at, I want you to know it's absolutely fine. Because God can handle any of your questions. I mean, he would much rather you wrestle with him than to turn your back on him. So it's okay. Believe me, it's really okay to go ahead and get real with God. Ask your questions. Cry out to him. Believe that he is there even when it's difficult to feel it. because it's in the wrestling that your faith gets stronger. It's in the struggle that you learn how to trust Him more. Don't let your doubts kind of push you away from God. Let them actually draw you closer to Him, because He understands your pain and He welcomes your questions. So finally, back to Daniel. How did God respond? Did He swoop in with a cape and say, "Here I am to save the day," and rescue Daniel? No. Did He smite King Nebuchadnezzar with a lightning bolt? Not quite. Instead, God gave Daniel something even better, a message of hope. And we're going to dig into that this next week. But before we wrap up, I want you to hear the story of my good friend Jared. I met Jared when he was actually in middle school, and he was coming to the jar, and we became friends, and I invested in him. But not long after that, something happened in his life would make anyone then ask the question, where are you, God? Do you care? Where are you? And now I want you to take a moment to listen to Jared's story.
My name is Jared Miller, and I've been coming to the jar since 2012. In 2014, it was just a regular day. I woke up at about 5:30, and I was getting into the shower and got done and dressed and everything. I heard a knock at the door. My uncle was there, and that's when he broke the news that my mom had passed away. And it was unexpected. She was in the hospital for a month before this, and we thought she was getting better, and she wasn't, or at least I thought she was getting better. When my mom passed away, and I went to school that same day, and because my brother wanted to go to school, and so I felt like I needed to go to school with him to, be there to support him. And got home to find out that my aunt had passed away the same 20 minutes after my mom had passed away. I was upset, so I got a little angry, and I told God, like, why are you doing this to me? What have I done that led to this point? I remember just having a conversation with God, like, are you real? Are you here? Why aren't you answering me? I'm not getting any feedback back from God. So is He even around? From the time that my mom passed away to the funeral, I really didn't want a relationship with God. I was like, let's just, you stay there and I'll stay here. I remember I was at the coffin, watching them lower my mom, and I remember Chris putting his arm around me. And there wasn't no words being spoken. It was just him and me, and I could just feel a presence that, everything's gonna be okay. Everything will be all right. I couldn't have done it without Chris, Derek, all my youth group was there, and they were all there to support me and help me out. In 2016, I wrote a speech about this for the Rotary Club, and it was a speech competition that I entered, and I just put pen and paper and I started writing this speech, and I ended up winning first place in the contest. I went off to delivering that same speech to multiple different places. And one was a place down in Indianapolis where I spoke in front of almost 600 people. The crowd really moved with that speech. I was giving it, and I could see, everyone, tears were falling, and, everyone was listening to every word that I was saying. And then after I gave the speech, I just had tremendous people come up to me and say, thank you for giving that speech. Thank you for allowing us to listen to this and writing this. So that was when I started thinking, maybe I got something, and, we can use what I've gone through to, help other people that are going through the same situation. For example, my buddy had just lost his mom a couple weeks ago, and her funeral will be Saturday. He came directly to me on Facebook, and he's like, "Hey man, my mom passed away. Could I come by and talk with you?" And you know, I told him that he could come over, and he came to my house. Me and him talked, and I told him basically what he was already feeling before he even told me. It's like when you lose somebody, you get this sense of numbness throughout your whole body, and you're just walking. You're just there. No information's not coming out, information's not going in. You're just basically zombified. And I told him that that's what he's feeling, and he agreed and was kind of shocked that I could tell him that. And I told him, that's how I felt for weeks when my mom passed away. Time is a big thing. The longer things go on, the easier it is to cope with it. Now, since all that's happened and, I've grown so much, my relationship with God really, I know he's right there with me, and me and him are best friends now than we ever have been, because of that. And because he did show me there is an outcome to this, and, we have to grow up and have to learn how to take stuff and turn it into positive things. There's things in our lives that will make us question, and that's something that I don't think we can run from. I think it's something that we can work on and make sure that we don't stick in that dark place, and so if we do question God, talk with God, really sit by yourself and, just you and him, no other distractions. And, if you feel like God's not there or something, you can talk to him. Everything that has happened to you, God's gonna help you. He's gonna guide you out of that as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily and I'm the small groups director at the JAR. We talked about some heavy stuff today, questioning God in those dark times of your life. And for some of you watching, that dark time has led to a dark place in your mind, like constant anxiety or depression. And if that's you, I want to invite you to Abundant Hope, an emotional healing group. This is a safe place where you can get practical advice about difficult emotions and talk to others who are experiencing the same thing. So to sign up, just tap that sign up button on the JAR app. I invite you to come and experience real healing. Now I'll turn it back over to your small group host for some discussion and prayer.